Welcome to the Shop Jersey Shore podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Mazuka, and today I am here with multiple guests. Usually I have one guest, but now I have multiple today. These are members of the board and leadership of a local nonprofit organization called A Need We Feed. This podcast is brought to you by On Your Mark Designs. We're a digital marketing agency located in Bayville, New Jersey, and we're here to help you find the best businesses and services to help you shop Jersey Shore. Please stay tuned for a giveaway at the end of the show. We'll have you answer a question about something we talk about today. You'll get an entry, and we'll send the winner a gift card to Spire Coffee House in Toms River if you win before the next episode. So wherever you're watching or listening, please subscribe to the show and follow the channel. We air a new episode every week. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Please introduce yourselves to the audience.
Hi, my name is Christine Linton. I'm the board secretary for Need We Feed. I've been a part of the board probably a good 8 years or so, maybe longer, could be longer than that. And I've been the secretary for quite a few years.
I'm Amanda Brunis. I'm the director of development with the Need We Feed, and I've been with the organization for a little over 6 years.
We'll let Mark go last. Save the best for last. So my name's Gabe Gillen. I'm the vice president of Need We Feed. I think I've been a board member or in an officer position for the last 5 years or so, 5, 6 years.
And I'm Mark Blackwell. I'm the president of A Need We Feed. I've been with the organization since our inaugural year in 2012. And I've been a board member pretty much since we became a nonprofit.
I'm so glad to have you all on the show today. So the audience knows I am also on the board of A Need We Feed just for the past 2 years. I am the newest member present right now. So I'm so glad to be part of the organization. I wanted to have everyone come and talk about the organization because we do such great work and we're part of this local Jersey Shore community. Most of what we do is here in Ocean County. I would love for Mark to explain about the origin of A Need We Feed and how we came about.
Sure. So we started in 2012 post-Hurricane Sandy. Our first meal delivery was on Thanksgiving of 2012. It pretty much started with our past president wanted to do something for the first responders on the Barrier Island after Hurricane Sandy, and also for the families that were trying to rebuild their homes and get their lives back together. So he kind of put a post out there on Facebook. Hey, we're trying to put together a group of people that can donate meals, donate turkeys, any way you can help out. And I'm a general manager for Stop and Shop Supermarket. So I reached out to Cliff, who I went to high school with back in the 80s. And I was able to procure a lot of product from the vendor community, whether it some bakeries and soda vendors, and get meals, and loaded up my pickup truck a couple times and brought them over to his house. And that's kind of where it started. And it was really just a grassroots effort. We weren't a nonprofit. We weren't an organization. It was just family and friends that got together and prepared meals. Cliff reached out to Chef Mike. He was one of the OGs of A Need We Feed as well. And they cooked, packaged, and prepared about 500 meals right out of Cliff's garage and delivered them over to the Barrier Island. And just a little backstory, when they went to deliver the meals, they found out that A Need We Feed and nobody else was able to get over to Seaside Heights. The bridge was closed other than to first responders. So a friend of a friend reached out to somebody in the fire department. They sent a fire truck over to Cliff's house, loaded up meals onto a fire engine, and that's how we got the first meals delivered over to Seaside. So it's a pretty cool story. So after Thanksgiving, Cliff reached out again. Hey, we want to do this again for Christmas. So again, we kind of got everybody back together. And this time we were able to use Cafe Italia over on Route 37. And we actually cooked and prepared the Christmas meals at Cafe Italia on Christmas morning. And again, we delivered 800 meals over to the Bowery Island post Hurricane Sandy. So fast forward to Easter. Again, we rolled it back again for Easter and did it Easter. But for Easter, it wasn't for the Barrier Island. That was kind of, the first responders were gone. The Seaside Bridge was open, the Barrier Island was open, and we reached out to the community to find different organizations that can use meals for Easter. Veterans, seniors, just families down on their luck, and anybody that could use a meal. So that's how we did it for Easter. And then after Easter is when a group of us got together and decided, we wanted to become a nonprofit organization and create a board. And that's kind of how Need We Feed started. And that's 13 years later, we're still doing it today.
So through that recovery from Superstorm Sandy, you've helped so many people, and then COVID hit, and things changed for A Need We Feed as well as the local community. How did things change for us as far as how we were able to help more people, and the need grew exponentially at that time?
Yeah, so COVID made it kind of interesting. It kind of changed our whole outlook, and all the restaurants were shut down with COVID. So it kind of fell in our wheelhouse that we were already purchasing meals from restaurants, but we ramped up the effort even more. So it was kind of like we were able to help the restaurants, and restaurants were able to help us. And we had a grant become available to us through the state of New Jersey, the Sustain and Serve grant. There was 3 waves to this grant, and Amanda could probably speak to it more. But we were able to get funding through the state of New Jersey. You had to purchase meals from small business restaurants. It couldn't be chain restaurants, and they couldn't have any more than, I believe, 50 employees. So we were reaching out all the local restaurants that we were already purchasing meals from prior to buy meals for the community. So we were able to take that money and actually help the restaurants stay afloat and purchase meals for those less fortunate.
So we've kind of adapted since COVID, because that Sustain and Serve grant is now no longer actually funding our efforts and what we're able to do, but we are still able to help members of the community on a weekly basis, as well as those holiday meals. So fast forward to today, how does A Need We Feed serve the community every week?
Sure. So we do have our weekly meal delivery program where we're still purchasing anywhere between 140 to 175 meals from small local restaurants. And we have an amazing team of volunteers who meet with us at the local Toms River Elks. The meals are all individually packaged. We're bagging them and labeling them with addresses. Our volunteers are picking them up and delivering them to the homes of our local seniors, veterans, children and families, many homeless individuals who are currently living in motels and hotels in the area, and they're delivering them to their homes. We do also provide for 4 major holidays: Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter. And because there is such a gap between Easter and Thanksgiving, we also supplement with a summer barbecue meal. And for anybody who reaches out to us during one of those times that might not be eligible for our weekly meal delivery program, we will still provide them with a holiday meal, because we want everybody to have, a warm Thanksgiving meal and feel that they're deserving of having so. So we will still deliver that to them.
Absolutely. And so many of our volunteers have been with us for such a long time. We do honor those volunteers with a volunteer of the month every month. Yeah. They have become quite close themselves, and it's such a gratifying effort. Gabe, I know that you've delivered meals in the past as a volunteer, so tell us a little bit about your experience with that.
Yeah, so I was probably a board member for 2 or 3 years before I ever was kind of asked, "Hey, we need some extra arms and hands and drivers. Could you go out and pick up a run?" It just so happened that I could work with my work schedule, so was able to step away and bring my daughter along with me at the time, who was, I guess she was probably 7 or 8. Now she's almost 13, and just experience the joy and the thankfulness, right, of delivering these meals. I didn't make the food, right? I didn't pack it. I was just the courier, right? But to get a very organized, from our volunteers and our volunteer coordinator, very organized directions as where to go, with fully packaged with great instructions. So my route, so it was fuel efficient, and getting to meet some of these families and just to see how thankful and just almost expecting, like it was about 2:30 and they're driving up and they just start opening their doors because they know what time it is, and for my daughter to experience that was really special as well, right? Because she realized that not everybody has, the same situation or life circumstance, and hopefully it's going to make her keep finishing her plate when we have dinner every night instead of throwing away whatever she's doesn't feel like eating. But yeah, it's been really special to participate. And this past year, my wife and now my two daughters got to do the same thing right around Christmas, and it's very similar feelings from them. And my wife had never participated or volunteered before as well. She's seen what we've been doing, but for her and my girls to be able to do that, they came back feeling pretty. It gave them a lot, right? Even though we were giving out and they were giving out, but it gave them a lot to be thankful for. And with the holiday season, it really made an impression on everybody.
Yes, and the gratitude that you experience when you bring those meals is so impactful on your life. Amanda, we talked a little bit about the people that we serve, and Gabe mentioned that he delivered to families. Explain a little bit about the people that we are helping, who are on our list, and you mentioned being able to qualify or not qualify. Can we talk a little bit about how someone in need can get served by a Need We Feed?
Sure. So the best way is through our website. There will be an option to get help, and then you would fill in your contact information. It would send an email directly to me, and I would reach out to you. We do have an eligibility questionnaire, really just kind of going over a brief synopsis of the person's situation and how they find themselves in need. And we do only allow individuals onto our client list if they're within the federal guidelines for poverty thresholds. So, as long as they're within that and we are able to serve them and they're within our delivery area, then we would love to provide a meal to whoever we can. And something that I didn't mention before, but I think is really important to say, is that because we are in the unique position of delivering directly to our clients' homes, we do work with other organizations and, partner in any essential items that we can also get out to our clients because we're delivering to them and they may not have transportation. We get those items out to them too. And that includes other food donation items as well. For example, Mark and Stop and Shop, anytime that there are a surplus of bakery items that we can also provide to our clients, we want to do that. Anything that we can also use to benefit to them, we want to help get to them as well.
Excellent. The people that we're serving, many of them might be homebound seniors,
Yes.
veterans. We
Yes.
serve some families who are in need and homeless as well, correct?
Yes. Yep. A lot of our families and all of our individuals are lacking transportation, so they cannot make it to their local pantry. So we're able to provide that meal directly to their door. We have quite a few homeless individuals at this time that will call us and say, I was just placed in this motel by the Board of Social Services and I received your phone number. Is this something that you can help me with? So that's where we come in.
Mark, you had mentioned that some of our restaurant partners that we work with we've been working with for many years. If there is a local restaurant out there who would be interested in helping out, how can they get involved, and what is our kind of relationship with them?
So if they want to become involved with us, we've reached out to many local restaurants. It's something Amanda does each week to try to get more restaurants on board, as we try to provide more meals every week. But if somebody watches this podcast and you want to get involved, go to aneedwefeed.com and you can send a message to info@aneedwefeed.com, and Amanda and I will both get that email, and we'd be happy to work with you and talk about it.
Aneedwefeed.org.
.org.
Yeah,
.org.
that's good. No problem. We'll take care of that.
That's why we have you on board, Lisa.
So when restaurants come on board to help us with meals, Amanda, let's let them know what we can expect. Do all
Yes.
the meals for 1 week come from one restaurant?
They do currently, all of our meals come from one restaurant per week. We have about 5 restaurants that we're working with, and they're on a rotation, so they know every 5 weeks. I send them a thank you every month and let them know this is when we have you on our schedule next. All of our restaurants have been really wonderful, and they do either donate a portion of the meals back to us for our clients or provide the meals completely at a reduced rate than they typically would. And I think that it feels good for them to be doing this for their community as well. And it feels very gratifying for them as much as it is for us to, use their business and be able to give them a little shout out on our Facebook every week when we're promoting them and showing pictures of the great meals that they're providing to us.
No doubt. What a way to support the community. That's terrific.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you asked that question because Amanda and I had a conversation probably a week or two ago, or it might have been in a board meeting. We came across a few grants over the last several months, and we're looking to expand the amount of meals that we're delivering every week. So we've had discussions about we could purchase some meals from a restaurant maybe in Southern Ocean County and purchase meals in the Toms River area. And
Yeah.
we could expand our outreach utilizing more than one restaurant per week.
Yeah, and we're all about partnering, and whatever works best for the restaurant works best for our clients.
So speaking of expansion, Christine, would you like to talk a little bit about the board of A Need We Feed and where we are now and where we'd like to go?
Sure. So at present, we currently have 9 board members, which include an executive board of Mark, Gabe, myself, and Vinny Pungello, who's our treasurer. He couldn't make it with us tonight. He's busy in tax season. Our remaining board members are from all different avenues of the community: banking, wealth management, marketing and advertising, like yourself, and we all bring in different aspects to it. One thing we're looking to do in 2026 is really expand our board, not only to just more people, but to different career avenues that we might not have right now. Just broadening our bases as far as like who is on the board, what skill sets can they bring to us, what contacts they can bring to us. Like Amanda had mentioned regarding applying to, be one of our clients or one of our restaurant partners, you can go on our website and find information on how to get more involved. Even if you wanted to start as being a volunteer, just to, see what it's like. Typically what we do when we bring new board members on is we invite them to a board meeting to kind of get to know us a little bit, us to get to know them, and just, feel the culture. As I mentioned earlier, I said I was on this board for 8 years. I stand corrected. I started when I was pregnant with my daughter, and that's almost 10 years ago. I don't know how I could have forgotten that because it was during a July summer barbecue feeding and it was hot. So, that's where I kind of started. And it's cool to kind of just move up the ladder, like Mark said, being a grassroots organization and just seeing, everything kind of start from pretty much the ground up and such. But if anybody watching is interested in joining our board, we are, always interested in bringing new people on, just to get their different ideas. As Mark just mentioned, wanting to possibly expand into Southern Ocean a little bit more and things like that. What can our board expansion, do to, bring that forward to sustain our mission as well?
Excellent. And Gabe, we were talking about how not only are we supported by our restaurant partners and by our board members, but these days, now that the sustain and serve grant is no longer funding us, can you talk a little bit about how a Need We Feed gets the funding that we need in order to fulfill our mission?
Sure. I mean, well, there's a lot of different avenues, but I'd say our top two are fundraising activities, right? So we have fundraising activities, multiple throughout the year. I'm sure, well, I'd love for Christine to talk about our most recent or soon to be casino night. But we also have an annual golf outing. We also have an event called Brews and Bites in the summer. It is, I guess, late spring, early summer. That we partner with a local restaurant and some friends as well to really help, just again, fundraise, right? And oftentimes we have people who call us and say, "Hey, we'd like to fundraise for you," right? Donovan Catholic, the local high school Catholic school here, helped us out this year. It usually comes from an idea from a board member, or maybe it's somebody who knows a board member because of us talking about it. And even volunteers. A new success that we've experienced this past year, and I expect us to continue, is Amanda has been doing an amazing job with grant writing and outreach. And we have some tremendous supporters from foundations, local foundations, who know what we're about. And sometimes we just get a check and, we have to make sure that it's real and that we can deposit it, right? Because it's just out of the blue with no message, no strings attached, no anything, right? No publicity, camera shot that they want to have or check viewing, right? But she's been doing an amazing job. And I know we tell her often, but everybody else can tell her as well.
Yes.
Because, that's been something that, writing grants and doing it effectively is difficult. Finding them is one thing. Getting it done while working a full-time job to support the rest of the crew and the rest of what the board needs and all the families that are calling and needing help. It's that's been a huge replacement for our organization. Now that some of the grants, the Sustain and Serve, as well as other, EDA type sponsored grants from the state of New Jersey have ended. We hope they come back. That's just going to help us feed more people and, increase our mission. But when, just like Christine was saying, the more support, the more volunteers, the more, people who feel like this is important and feel like this is a vision that they want to participate in, is really going to help us drive this mission even larger, right? By having a couple more board members, and we welcome anybody who really has the care and the feeling that we all do, right? 12 years, 10 years. I'm the young guy probably. I'm 5. Well, you're here 2 years, but I felt like the young guy until you got here. 5 years, right? 6 years. So, it's been a lot of fun, and we're going to continue. And I know Amanda, we challenged her that she could outdo herself from last year, which grant writing and all the other support that we get on an annual basis.
No pressure.
Right. Yeah.
Well, and the grants, though we've been really successful this year, thanks to Amanda, they are not guaranteed.
Right.
So we do depend on private donors and people like you and our audience to support what we're doing and help us to keep feeding people who really need our help in the community. And our next big event that's coming up is happening this month. Christine, let's hear about Casino Night.
Yeah.
So our largest fundraiser of the year is, as Lisa said, upcoming. It's our 7th annual casino night. It is going to be on Friday, February 20th at B2 in Bayville. It starts at 6 p.m. We're very excited about this year. Last year was probably like a record year as far as how many folks attended, what we've brought in. We have everything from all sorts of games, casino wise, from blackjack to poker to craps to some new games that we're having at the recommendation of our dealer. We have a huge gift auction of over 50 different baskets. We have a DJ who's done tremendous, who also donates a portion of his time, which is really nice. Dealer, we've used every single year for this event. So it's that also that great connection. We will have a photo booth as well, which again, they're also donating their time, which is really awesome. So it's an event that has gotten bigger and better over the course of the years. And it's just really, really fun. Like it's a great night out. We do have a casino night committee that we meet. You know, we start in the fall for planning this. Actually, once casino night is done come February, Amanda and I will go back to B2 and like line up the next event for the following year, just get all those bases covered. But we have a great committee of volunteers that help everything from planning, from start to finish to the execution of the event. Marianne, one of our volunteers, does a wonderful job spearheading our gift auction piece. It's a really fun night. Aside from the casino night, as Gabe mentioned, fundraising is a big factor in us being funded. We have a golf outing that's usually in the fall, usually in the September timeframe. We have a Brews and Bites event, which is at Icarus Brewery in combination with Burger 25, which that's at the end of May, usually right before or after Memorial Day. This year it's on the 30th of May. And then we also do some other fundraisers like comedy nights. We've done a few other ones like a bingo, which we might get into. We've done a football for food type fundraiser. There's a lot of different ones that we've done, but we like to try to, you know, bring up some new, fresh ideas. So as part of our board expansion, we're always looking for those ideas as well. You know, how we can further expand our fundraising needs, because just like grants, the fundraising dollars aren't always guaranteed as well. Just because we might have knocked it out of the park last year doesn't mean we will this year. We hope to, but it's a really great group of people and our events are a lot of fun.
A lot of fun. You know, the funds that we do get from these events not only come from ticket sales, they come from the separate games that happen. A 50-50 might happen at an event, or the extra tickets that might be sold in order to get more tickets for the gift auction and things like that. But we also have some really fantastic corporate sponsors who pay for visibility. They sponsor this event so that we can really make it as terrific as it can be and a lot of fun. We thank those sponsors on social media and on our website. So please check them out because they help us out so much in order to continue with our mission in the area. You can follow us on social media. You can check out our website to see the upcoming events and be able to buy tickets to the events. I know I see the tickets sales come in, and there are so many people who say in their message to us, I've been to this event for the past 3 years.
Yep.
I had such a great time. I can't wait to come again. So they're buying full tables worth of tickets. And we've got our sponsors to thank for the ability to do this again and again.
Yeah, a special shout out to Pungello CPA and Obsidian Wealth Advisors. They have been our executive sponsor for the last 3 years or so.
Yeah.
And they do a great job. Ed and Vinny are wonderful to work with and are always behind the events back and everything. But it's also cool as far as this organization. I'd say every single one of us, from staff to board members, We also get our families involved, which I think makes us very special and unique. As Gabe had mentioned, his children and his wife have been involved. My children, my partner, we've delivered meals. We adopt a family every year for Christmas. And it's just really, I don't know, it's heartwarming. My kids are little, they really enjoy it. I know Mark's children are older, but they also participate. They're the ones coming to casino night and supporting that event and such. So we come from different backgrounds and walks, but we all kind of come together for the same thing. And it's really, really heartwarming.
I'm just kind of amazed Christine still hasn't shed a tear after saying all that.
I was
She
waiting
held,
for it.
she held it together. I'm very proud of you.
I've been practicing my nonverbal cues.
I
Well
almost get
done.
emotional listening to her, but all kidding aside, I started helping this organization in 2012 before we even had a name. And who knew 13 years later, we're in our 14th year, or whatever it is, that we're still doing it. And anybody that gets involved with the Need We Feed, they stay involved, either as a volunteer, attending our events, becoming a board member. Very few people drop off, and there's something about this organization that it keeps everybody together, and it's the people in this organization that keeps me wanting to stay on this board. It requires a lot of time, resources, phone calls, Zoom calls, board meetings, officer meetings, and none of us get paid to do this. So, we're all volunteers, and sometimes you think, like, it's 12 years. I probably put in my time. Maybe it's time to step aside. But you kind of feel like you're letting down the people that are in this organization with you, that want you to be involved, and it just keeps you coming back.
We do have a paid staff member. Full disclosure, but I do know that Amanda puts in way more time and effort than would ever be expected of her. So we totally appreciate her guidance and participation and love for what she's doing.
I think that was Mark's reelection speech. I think that's what that was.
Got my vote. No, and it's so true between seeing our board members and then seeing our volunteers together. There's such passion, like, in what everybody's doing, and it's so admirable. And you can tell that everybody truly enjoys being around each other, that it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like volunteering. It feels gratifying and like you're doing something alongside people that you have so much fun with, which is very special.
Yeah, like it's a staple in our house that Thanksgiving morning we're going and prepping meals and having a good time with everybody at a Need We Feed.
That was intimidating at first when I joined the board. And I was like, how am I going to get away with this and not be at home in prep for the holiday? But you're right. It quickly becomes a tradition that now I have other family members tapping me going, are
Yes.
you going to do that again for Easter? Because I want to come too.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I'm so glad that we did this. And now, for the audience, are you ready for our giveaway? You could win a free gift card to Spire Coffee House in Toms River. We have a $20 gift card. And I have a question in mind. Does anybody have a question in mind that they want to ask the audience based on what we talked about? I've got one. Who knows where the casino night event is happening on February 20th? Tell us the location of casino night. Please send an email to lisa@shopjerseyshore.com. Put a Need We Feed in the subject line, and we will choose a winner before the next episode. That's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining me. Remember, everybody, to shop Jersey Shore. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us, Lisa.